Hi! Today we reviewed for the exponent test. So, let me just show you what we did. First, we did our bell work. Explain in complete sentences. What is the product rule of exponents? When you have the same base with some exponents, and they're being multiplied together, add the exponents. Quotient rule, when you have the same base with some exponents, and they're being divided, subtract the exponents. Power rule, that's like a power to another power. When you have an exponent that has a power, and then all of that is in parentheses to another power, multiply the two exponents. I guess I could write all these out, like, x squared times x to the third, add the exponents together. Y to the fifth divided by y to the 3. Subtract them. 5 minus 3 is 2. Y squared. Power rule. Z to the 4, all of it to the power of 5. Multiply z to the 20. What is the negative rule of exponents? Well, the catchy phrase we learned is cross the line and change the sign. So you could write that. I'll just kind of remind you, it's like a to the negative 3, cross the line and change the sign means we've crossed it to the bottom, we've changed it to a positive 3, and remember there was that invisible multiplied by 1 that we would never write because that's silly, but we left it up top, so that's why 1 goes on top. What's the zero rule of exponents? Anything to the 0 power equals 1. It's like 4 to the 0 power equals 1. X to the 0 power equals 1. Kind of tricky. 5 times a to the 0 power, well, a to the 0 power is what equals 1. Because it means write a 0 times. So it actually equals 5. 5 times a to the 0 power equals 5. Okay, there's some examples of what you could have written for your bell work. Then you worked by yourself to solve some questions in the notebook. So page 17, exponents review. By yourself, making sure you can do these things on your own for the test, preparing for the test. It doesn't have a multiplication sign, but when they're squished together, it means multiply. So we can add 4 plus 7 is 11. Remember, fraction button means divide, so we subtract. 9 minus 5 equals 4. Okay, simplify the expression and explain how you did it. Cross the line and change the sign. I'm totally fine with that as your explanation if you want. But I guess I should show you what we did first. It's squished together, so it means multiply, so we add negative 11 plus 3. 11, 10, 9, 8 is negative 8, but it needs to be a positive exponent. So cross the line and change the sign. Moved it to the bottom of the fraction. 8 became positive. We left an invisible 1 on top. Give an example of the power rule. I don't know, x to the power of 3, all of it to the power of 2. Multiply 3 times 2 to get 6. That's the power rule. Those are all the exponent rules that we learned. Now, let's remind ourselves of some scientific notation. Write this in scientific notation. 1, 2, 3, 4.5 times 10 to the power of 3. 10 to the power of negative 3, because we moved 1, 2, 3 spaces in the small direction, right? It was a very small number. Write this number in standard notation. Well, you could just type it in your calculator and click enter, but let's just say you get a giant number you can't type in the calculator and click enter. Then you just move the decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, because there's a 4 there. And I fill all these in with zeros, so because it becomes 73000. Pause whenever you need to. What is standard notation? Normal numbers. Right? That's the normal way that we all have been writing numbers up until like this unit, right? The mass of the Earth is this big. The mass of Mercury is this big. How many times larger means divide. We've got to use that fraction button. The Earth is the bigger one. I can tell because the Earth has a bigger exponent. So I'll put the Earth on top, put Mercury on the bottom, and then click enter, once you've solved that. And this one, oh, never mind, there's a couple. The wingspan of a monarch butterfly is this many millimeters long. The wingspan of a painted lady butterfly is this big. How much longer? How much? Not how many times, just how much means subtract. So we'll do our monarch butterfly minus our painted lady butterfly. All right, write a word problem you can solve using scientific notation, then solve your word problem. You cannot copy a word problem that was already on this review, right? That is up to you to do. So that's what we did in class, and then we ended with our exit ticket. And we can just go over these very quickly. Because it's multiply, we can add 3 plus 12 is 15, so x to the power of 15. Ooh, I'm glad I included this one. Kind of tricky. 7 minus, there's nothing. Does that mean it's a 0? No, it means it's an invisible 1, because there is one x right there. So 7 minus 1 is 6, x to the power of 6. Squished together means multiply. Negative exponent, I only grab the thing that has the negative exponent, move it to the bottom. So it becomes x on the bottom, the 2 is a positive, and I left the 3 on top. So that's what we did today. Have a great day.